Yo, guys, what is up? Welcome to the Press Start Podcast. My name is Nate Sarazola.
I'm DJ Stanhope.
And I'm John Shoemaker.
And this is the Press Start Podcast. Yeah.
Hold down. No.
All right. All right, so off to the good start already. All right, so guys, tonight, huge news in video gaming this week. There was a bunch of stuff that happened, bunch of game releases, PAX South happened. I don't even know what else to talk about. Just a lot of announcements. My feed of everything was full. Facebook,
Seriously.
Google, Tumblr, Twitter, you name it. MySpace, I don't even know
Yeah,
anymore.
sure. MySpace still exists, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't go on it.
I don't
Every
know
now and then to
anymore.
See a graveyard.
You guys heard about that social media site that went down after 16 years, right?
What?
The guy officially took it down. He was like, yeah, nah. And then he's going to start something new or something like that. I was like, all right, good luck. Good luck,
Have
man.
fun with that, man.
Have fun.
All right. So first up, guys, I want to bring up EA again, just to kind of follow up on last week's stuff. EA is having a huge sale on Origin, and I believe on other platforms too. You can get up to 75% off their games. # not sponsored. No, but like 75% off. Like you can get Battlefield 4 or Battlefield Hardline for like $10. And you can get all
only worth $10.
It's finally at the price that
And
it's
you-
worth.
Yeah.
And if you've never bought the DLC before because it's too expensive, like it is, you could get like the season pass for $5.
Okay.
It's fantastic. As well as, let's see, what else is there? There's Battlefront, the Star Wars game, not Battlefield.
Smooth.
Battlefront, the deluxe edition is like $35 now, and the edition with the season pass, that thing, is like $80 now. So you know that cheap price from $110 to $80.
That's
Saving money
not a
where you
drop.
can, I guess.
That is not a drop whatsoever, though. Like,
It's
that
not.
really isn't.
Well, that's the thing. Like you look at it too, and it's like just the game. Only the game's really discounted because they have the season pass, available. It hasn't been discounted at all.
Right.
It's
Of
course
only the
not.
game part. Yeah.
No, that's where they're going to make probably most of their money. Like,
Exactly.
Just right there.
Well, now with their like whole DLC announcements with all the new maps and stuff, maybe it's now worth it. I don't think it's worth $50 worth it,
Right.
but maybe $25. I'd pay $25 for it.
Dude, I'd probably even pay like 30, 35 even.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not 50.
No.
I'm not gonna pay.
Like
50.
after 40, it's just no.
Exactly.
No.
Still
all
no
I
real
can-
space battle.
All I can say about this sale is I just got my tax return today,
Ooh.
and
Oh.
it might soon be gone, but we'll see.
Mine's going towards college, so I can't do that.
We look at you being responsible.
I'm not responsible. That's why I have to use it for college.
I'm just going to spend mine on video games and tattoos and call it good.
Nice.
Dude, that's where it's at right
That
there.
should be where it's at. All right. So another big thing, EA, DICE, their latest or their big game that's going to be coming out soon, Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I'm super hyped for that game. I cannot wait.
I am, but like, I'll be honest, like because Catalyst has been coming out, I was like, you know what? I got to play it, the very first one, all over again. And I forgot how like finicky it is. Like you have to be
Right.
so precise. Like I tried to like run up the wall, spin around real quick, and try to like make the jump. All I know is I'm like sliding backwards. It doesn't work.
What do you
It's
play it
so-
on?
My PS3 right now because I
Okay.
literally got it for $2.
Nice.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, the EA sale though is also on like PSN and a couple of
Okay.
other things.
Okay.
I just looked it up right now.
Sweet. Yeah, no, definitely hit that up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
see,
that's where it's at.
I played Mirror's Edge on the PC,
Okay.
which is way better because, you can like, it's like a Twitch shooter where you're
Yeah.
just like, your mouse sensitivity is at like 1 million. And you just like, you like twitch a little bit and your person's doing like full like 720s in the air. Like it's super easy to jump around and do stuff.
Right.
I love that game. The only thing I didn't like was the force combat in it. I don't know if you guys.
I
know
never
you have, but-
actually had to be forced into it, other
Really?
than like with like rope burn. Like I'll be honest, at this current moment, I have fired 4 shots, and that's
Nice.
it.
Yeah, but
And
that's
it hasn't been at anyone. It's been at glass, and I have failed because I still have yet to go through the glass.
good job. Yeah, see, even then, though, it's like there was points for me where it was like I could run around all this, but it's going to take me 80 tries to figure out the right path. I'll just pick up a gun and shoot everybody, make it easier, you know? So, because I'm lazy. So,
Gee.
but I went back and played through it and tried to go without doing any combat, and there was a few times that I had to, which still kind of bothered me because it slows down the game.
It does.
But apparently in Catalyst, that doesn't happen. You could shoot if you want to, but you don't have to. You could run, like, knock somebody out and keep going. And it's an open world game, too, so you could just avoid everything.
Yeah. There's no boundaries either, which is really nice. Like,
yeah,
there are
exactly.
to some extent, but it's nothing in comparison to what the first Mirror's Edge was.
It's a lot less linear, which makes me really happy because that's how I feel the game should be. It should just be like parkour the city.
Yeah.
You know?
Although I hope it actually has somewhat of a story because the first one was vacant of anything emotional.
They just released the story trailer, I want to say this morning.
Okay.
Or yesterday. And it's actually seems like it's going to be a really good story. Like
Okay.
I was engaged from like the minute and a half trailer that there was. So I'm super excited for it. But basically the main big news with this game is that yesterday, the closed beta signups went live. So you could go sign up for the beta, choose your preferred platform, and possibly get into the closed beta, which I did immediately.
Dude.
Beta sign up still up? Like,
Yeah,
now
right
we can
now.
still sign up?
Yeah.
Okay, so in other words,
Sign
what
up
I'm hearing
now.
is give me just a moment.
Yeah, exactly. So, and speaking of more beta stuff, more beta stuffs.
More beta stuffs?
We got Overwatch beta.
Okay.
That starts up again next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what time next week?
Not sure, but I know it starts on the 12th, I want to say.
Gosh, you're not helping me.
I'm
I'm trying to get on
sorry.
top of this.
Just go to Overwatch and sign up for the beta now. You can do it.
Hold on.
Just
I'm
plan
signing up
on
for
missing
Catalyst.
all your classes next week to play video games.
Dude, I didn't go to physics this morning. We're starting a trend here.
Yeah, so what we're telling you guys now is if you're on your laptop, get two windows open. One's on Mirror's Edge and one's on Overwatch.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm
I'm
signing up
doing.
for the beta at the same time. But yeah, so that beta goes up again after being shut down last year in December, so they could clean it up, release new stuff. There's a bunch of new game modes, new characters, new maps, everything.
I'm pumped. Overwatch looked like such a fun game. I didn't get into the beta the last time, but from what I saw of it, it looked so fun and just a new, fresh sort of take on a multiplayer shooter type.
I know. Like I
I'm
was
excited.
oh, it's just kind of like another first-person MOBA,
Right.
TF2 looking thing, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't, dude. It looked good, and I was like, I really want to play this.
Seriously.
I so want to play this. There's so much strategy in it that I was like, this is gonna be a game that.
That's
I'm gonna
honestly what surprised me the most was how much strategy was involved in it.
right. Like it wasn't just a shooter. Like it was like hardcore. Like
Yeah.
Twitch-esque, but you could also slow down a little bit to it.
Uh-huh.
You know, so
And just all the different classes that were available definitely played into that sort of strategy model where you had to kind of think about what's the strengths of my character right now,
Yeah.
where does my team need a person sort of thing.
exactly. Like yeah, it looked good. It looked like another one of those games though, where you have to have like 5 of their friends to play.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you could play it alone, but it's way better with friends because there's more strategy involved. You could have a lot more fun with it. You could be a lot more trolly.
I mean, isn't that like every multiplayer game though? Like, sure, you can play it on your own, but it's always more fun when you have a group of people that you know and that you can either like take seriously and actually strategize or just screw around and totally mess with everything.
exactly. Like The Division, which we're going to talk about again for the fourth week in a row.
Again? Why?
I'm sorry, but the beta just ended. I have to talk about it. We're still on the beta subjects.
I know. Okay.
Okay, beta ended for the game. I played it, and I know you guys have probably seen everything about it because it's literally all over the place.
Yeah.
Seriously. It was like the only thing that most of the people that I follow on Twitch were playing, I swear to God.
Yeah, because you only have like 3 days to play it.
Yeah.
But I remember clearly stating last week that it was going to be extended And guess what? It was extended.
Oh my god!
Yay!
Dude, almost every beta to some extent gets extended.
Yeah. Something always happens and like, oh, hey. Or, hey, we want you to play an extra day because our game's broken and we want to figure out what's wrong with it. So it ended on Tuesday at noon. It was, in my personal opinion, it was a good game. I was a little bit disappointed because I went back and I watched a lot of like the EA trailers of people playing it, and it looks similar, but the play style like felt different than what it looked like it was going to be.
Okay.
Part of that has to do with the fact that I played it alone. I didn't play with a group of friends. I would go around with like randoms, but I didn't play with a group of friends, so it was a lot less strategy involved. It was more of I run in by myself, shoot a bunch of things, get some guns, and then I go into the dark zone. But from what I saw, it's a really fun game. I'm still on the fence on buying it.
Okay.
I really want to play it. The outside the dark zone part for me was probably one of the biggest like letdowns.
Right.
Because it was really it just felt very linear-esque.
But it was very limited in the beta. You literally had like one sort of mission string that you could do, and only so much sort of development you could do on like your base.
Yeah.
So yeah, like watching it, that was definitely the one part that I noticed. Like it looked boring, honestly, from what I was watching that part, because it was just super grindy doing this one thing over and over to get levels, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of saw something similar, but I'll be honest. After a couple of videos, was like, this isn't something I want to actually spend my time watching. Just because I get like it's a video game. It's probably a really good one to play, but watching it, not so much.
Yeah,
like I really couldn't watch it.
Like it's funny if like you watch a bunch of people play it, like 3 or 4 people that are like comedian-esque, you know, really funny guys.
Yeah.
But, like watching people seriously play the game, it's kind of boring. And in my personal opinion, one of my biggest pet peeves, like I understand why they do it, but when there's like secret like areas you could explore and like doors you could go in and then doors you can't go in, I like the doors that you can go in to be a little bit more visible.
Okay.
In this game, the only way to really tell that a door is open and available to go in is like it's glowing, but you have to be really close to it, and it's like a gray kind of glowing.
Oh, so that doesn't help on a
door
gray.
Yeah, exactly. The door next to it is just slightly darker.
Oh,
than the door that's not that's openable, you know. But there's like really good loot inside houses. Like I found like an AK-47 in there that had like a bunch of like stat perks and things.
Yeah, right.
It felt very RPG-ish to me in terms of like the way the damage worked and the way like certain guns have certain like added abilities to them and the limitations and rarities. Felt like Destiny.
That was my initial thought. It was a lot like Destiny in the way that it's a real loot based type game.
But when I went into the dark zone, that was when I had the most fun because I just random people. I would walk up and you do your little mode like, oh, I surrender, right? Like you're not going to be a rogue. And all of a sudden I was with like 4 or 5 guys. We're taking down rogues and like extracting our like gear and things like that. And it was super fun. Like I was like, this is the game that I want to buy. I don't want to buy the outside the dark zone game. I want to buy this game.
I just want the dark zone.
But the outside game, granted, is going to be way cooler once the game actually comes out and you can play all the story mode.
Yeah.
But I think I had a little bit of like a disheartening when I found out some of the DLC limitations. So the DLC, they announced it, and a bunch of it was like, it's basically 3 game mode expansions, not even like map expansions, right?
Right.
Oh, they're doing that.
Like, and there's some like, there's like guns and skins and things like that, but like, there's certain missions and like monthly challenges and things like that won't be allowed to be played unless you have the season pass. And the season pass, I think it's like $40.
I'm pretty sure it was 40. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of makes me not want to buy this game because I was super excited for it when I saw it at E3, and when I found out that I got beta access, I was like, yes, I can't wait. And then I played it and I was like, I don't really know if I'm going to buy this at release.
Yeah, so
I'll
like,
buy it once it's on sale, but
you know, this is a game that if you buy it at full price and then buy the, you know, season pass DLC, that's $100 basically plus tax. So is it really a game that you want to drop $100 on? Basically, is the question.
Well, and then the other thing too is that if you don't drop the $100 on, you just drop the 60 for
the game itself.
The game itself, you're immediately divided with like a majority of the game,
Right?
Because you don't have access to a lot of these missions and access to like 90% of the loot. You're gonna have to like basically get everything that was programmed into the game, but you can't get a lot of like the really good loot that's in these monthly challenges because I didn't spend $40 on a DLC pass so I could play monthly missions.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's basically what they should have done is what Ubisoft should have done is looked at the way Destiny was and taken all the good things from Destiny and gotten rid of a lot of the bad things from Destiny.
Yeah.
Because Destiny did a really good job, in my opinion, of keeping players who bought the season pass and all the expansions and players who hadn't like together for at least a majority of the time. And it was like, okay, now that you beat the game and everything, now you can buy the expansions and be still with everybody. But like at the very beginning of the game, everybody was at the same level. Everybody could do everything, So I don't know. I feel a little bit disappointed with it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really have much grounds to stand on just because, like, for me, I was looking at it and everything, and yeah, it does look like Destiny, but it also kind of reminds me of like a half... I can't say it. Half what gamed at some point.
Yeah.
Like, they put a lot of effort into some of the mechanics and then stopped.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
I mean, the beta is meant to fix some of this stuff, but at the same time, full release is just right around the corner for this game.
That's my whole thing. Like, the beta should be quite similar to what the final game's going to be, just because...
Especially this close, yeah.
Yeah, there's no serious time between the two.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, like... You just in terms of like I know they're completely different genres, but and we're running out of time here, but like looking at the difference between the For Honor Alpha and the Division Beta, I played the For Honor Alpha and immediately wanted to buy the game and pre-order it. Right? Yeah. I played the Division Beta and I was like, oh, I don't want this game anymore.
Right.
Like it's like you got to really win over audiences in these betas and alphas because if you win them there, they're going to spread the word and everybody's going to want to buy this game. If you don't win them there, it's going to be, you're going to lose a lot of people.
For sure.
Especially a game like The Division who contracts people and like basically sponsors people to play their game and release it out on the internet. If you want them to build up hype for it, it's got to be a really good game and really solid at beta. And I just didn't feel that. I felt really disappointed with the game.
You know who they should contact about betas?
Us.
No, the creator of freaking Minecraft, because that was a beta for how long?
Seriously.
And it had way too many people buying up the beta.
But also they should contact us. Ubisoft, if you're listening.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say no.
Hey, Ubisoft and EA, you want your game to be sponsored and get it out there? Contact
next week. We will have a shining review. We will talk Division for the entire hour if necessary.
No, actually, hey, you just a second thought. All right. Enough on the rant of The Division and how that game is not going to be good. Let's just go into a break real quick, guys. We'll see you in a bit. All right, guys, welcome back to the Press Star Podcast.
Guys, I'm sad we didn't have the burritos ad right before we came back on this time.
I know.
Burritos. I was really disappointed, too, because you're not allowed to put advertisements in recordings.
So we couldn't.
So
just a random...
I put the burrito comment. I left that in there, but there's no context.
So everyone who watches it on YouTube is just like, what are these idiots talking about now?
Right? Yeah, we're so just all over the place. Okay, so let's go into the release segment of our podcast.
Let's preface this with a video game release.
Yeah.
I feel like that may have needed to be clarified because this is going on the internet.
The internet. All right,
releasing on the internet.
in case you've been living in a cave and then decided to come out and listen to our podcast for some ungodly reason,
I don't blame you
on it.
XCOM 2 came out.
Yes.
That's a game that everybody loves to play, and everybody got really excited when they announced it because XCOM was probably one of my favorite games of all time.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm probably honestly going to go home tonight and buy it and play it this weekend and all next week.
I'm not going to see my girlfriend for 2 days.
Ooh.
It's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
She knows.
She knows
2 came out.
I mean,
these are the sacrifices you make.
I know, and it's for educational purposes. Yeah, we'll go with that.
This is this is my job, kind of. We're not getting paid for this, but
Poquito.
No, it's okay. It's still our job. It's like when Fallout 4 came out, nobody showed up for anything.
Seriously.
No joke. When Fallout 4 came out, I think there was about 6 or 7 people who were really excited for the game that didn't show up for classes the next day. It's pretty funny.
There was actually something where you could go on to Fallout 4's website and like save and download a PDF of a doctor's note signed and everything.
Oh, I saw that. That was so funny.
I just want to know how many people actually did it.
Oh, I bet you a lot.
I know for a fact at least 6 from just my immediate friends.
Nice.
At least
did it
6.
work?
And it worked on one. The other ones are like, this is
Are you kidding me right now?
That's great.
But anyway, back to XCOM 2.
Yes, XCOM.
I've been avoiding watching any gameplay of it because I want it
too.
to be fresh when I play it.
Not looking at the internet really.
I did do that. I watched gameplay for it, and it looks really good.
Does it look good?
Oh, I'm so hyped for it.
Dude.
I'm not a big fan of the turn-based strategy games. You
Okay.
know? I like them. I like Fire Emblem and all those games. Like, they're really fun, but I'm not the kind of guy that sits down and plays turn-based all the time.
Right.
So South Park and the Stick of Truth was not your go-to?
It was a funny game, but no, it wasn't my go-to. No, any of like a lot of the Tom Clancy games, a lot of the Breach and Charge games. I don't know. They weren't really my forte.
Okay.
Like, I was like, it's too slow. I like RTSs and things like that.
Right.
You know?
All right.
That's understandable. I mean, I like games like this, but I'm really bad at like turn-based strategy games. It's like chess for me. I can't look 12 moves into the future
Right.
and strategize for what's going to happen. I'm just throwing people wherever it seems best and dying and raging and quitting the game for 2 hours or so, and then I go back into it.
Yeah. So I bought XCOM because I was like, all right, I'll hype on this hype train.
Yeah.
Chugga chugga choo choo. Let's waste my money. And then I played it, and I think I've logged about 45 hours into the game.
Nice.
I wanna
Okay.
say, because I got a bunch of mods and things like that.
I am thoroughly impressed.
I like that game a lot. I hate turn-based, and I love that game.
Question, did you play it on the like Iron Man mode where nothing changes? If people die, they're dead? Or did you play it on the one where you can kind of go back and fix stuff?
Yeah, because you know the difference between Iron Man and plushy gameplay.
I played it on Baby Easy mode.
It's all right. I mean, to be fair, everybody at least went, all right, hold on. I probably shouldn't just jump into the hardest way to play this game.
The hardest difficulty is the kind of thing where you get 4 friends together and watch as somebody like rages and smashes
Seriously.
people in the ground.
That's why I have 2 now.
Like that space. Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of keyboards, hey, you guys want to spend $180 on a keyboard? You could get the Division for free.
What?
What?
Oh yeah, there's a Logitech keyboard that's like coming out that you could get the Division for free, but it's like $180.
Is that with
Dude,
the
that's
season pass, or is that
No.
literally
No.
so I can spend $180 to get a $60 game free?
Yep.
All right, I see.
I mean,
Logic.
but you get a Logitech keyboard. It's probably not even like the top-notch keyboard. It's like mid-level.
I
Where
mean,
it's
it's
probably
$180. It's got to be pretty good.
I mean, but the game is in it, so technically we're looking at like $120 keyboard.
We got
Theoretically,
really off topic.
It happens. It's
Derailed.
okay.
welcome to the Press Start podcast. Last week we talked about Windows 8 on freaking.
On floppy disk.
If you haven't seen the last week's podcast, go to YouTube and watch just for that part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to say it's about
halfway to
45
3/4.
minutes in.
Yeah,
I wanna
Probably,
say.
yeah.
Yeah, find that and just like record
We
that.
practically ended on that.
Yeah. And now we're back to it. How we started. We're so disorganized. It's fantastic. I love it. So back to XCOM 2. Great game. I watched gameplay of it, and I'm super hyped for it.
I'm sure I'll have more to say about it next week because I plan on playing a lot of it.
I watched some of the beta stuff and just watching beta stuff. Again, another thing, beta should get hype up. That game's beta got hype up so
Right.
hard.
Yeah,
Oh,
it really
I
did.
cannot wait. I totally need to go home and just download that and just play the crap out of it. I love XCOM.
Guess who's not
So-
sleeping this weekend?
I have to because otherwise I'll die.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Woos.
other day you were, running on like no sleep or no food. Or
Oh
something.
yeah, that's right. Red Bull
Red
Yeah.
Bull.
gives you heart attacks and kidney stones.
Well, we're not getting sponsored by Red Bull.
Hey, Red
now.
Bull, sponsor us. All right. Okay, another release, possible release. Hey, Mother 3, is it coming to the West finally after 10 years?
Finally?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Possibly. Maybe.
I wouldn't hold your breath quite yet.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm
can't
gonna go
wait.
no.
If it does come out, I will definitely spend $110 on the Game Plus season pass. I love Earthbound. Earthbound is a fantastic game, and I cannot wait for Mother 3. If it comes out, I will totally buy it.
A big if.
Yeah.
Huge if.
When it comes out.
No.
Someone's an optimist here.
Stay optimistic. Okay, so on to that, off that speculation. Hey, another release. Rocket League Season 2, brand new content, Rocket Labs. Basically, if you guys haven't heard of what Rocket Labs is.
Not really, not at all.
It's basically the ability for users to create content, new maps, essentially. And what came with it was a bunch of like maps to basically show off what you can do. So there was a bunch of like, if you guys have never played Rocket League before, if you have, just
Then what are you doing, honestly?
yeah, what have you done with your life?
You've wasted time.
You missed 2015 in its entirety. Is Rocket League. That's all 2015 was Rocket League.
Seriously.
That game came out of nowhere and became like the best game of the year.
I know. I don't even know how it happened. It just kind of... It was there suddenly.
One day, didn't notice anything. Next day, there were billboards. I was like,
you wanna-
really?
You want to
Really?
know how it got popular? There's cars, there's nitrous boosts, there's balls that go boom, and there's cars that go boom.
It's always...
That's literally the four things to make the best game in the world.
Game developers, pay attention. This is the
Grand
formula.
Theft Auto was on the right track, but not quite.
They missed the balls.
Yeah, they missed the ball.
You
they
never
needed
miss the
was
balls.
Never missed the balls.
Oh,
Banned.
What a great show. So that
So
came
yeah,
out.
what's the Rocket Labs? What are those?
Basically, they're a bunch of stupid maps that should never exist, but they exist and
They
they're the
will.
greatest maps of all time.
Okay.
Basically, like there's maps where both the goals are like right next to each other, but it makes a U shape around, so you have to drive the ball all the way around to get into the other person's goal. There's like maps where it's goal on one side, goal on the other side, but there's like layers to it, and it's super cool and super fast. There's another one where there's like two goals on each side. It's crazy. If you guys haven't checked it out or heard of it or anything, definitely check it out. Go watch videos on it. Just search up Rocket Labs because it is awesome.
So you said that they're adding, like, you can make maps for it, right? Is
Yeah.
what you said? So, I mean, immediately what I think of with that is like Counter-Strike, how they added the community maps feature.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this could be huge in all the possibilities that this could go, honestly.
Basically, what the creators did was basically saying that, hey, we can make a good map like once every couple months, but now you're going to have millions and millions upon maps that you can have from other users that are stupidly fun.
95% of them are going to be broken and not work, but 5% of them are going to be really cool.
Yeah.
5.
But how many times you're going to play one of those 5%? Like 1 in like a million. You're just going to
So
play
you're
the
saying
most
there's a
broken
chance.
maps. But there's a chance.
Dude, it's gonna be like Trials. It honestly
Yeah,
is.
seriously.
It will be exactly like Trials.
Trials.
Oh,
What a
God.
great game. I can't wait
What
for
a
another one.
rage-inducing game.
Oh my God. I
cried. I cried on one of the maps. I just couldn't take it.
Yesterday, I beat the last level, including the DLC levels in Trials Frontier, and I was like, thank God I don't have to play this game
It's
anymore.
over.
Oh, as soon as you get to the stupid, like, expert, like, slap you in the face modes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my, like, retries were up in, like, the 200s. I was like, ain't no way I'm perfecting this game.
Nope.
No.
Even the warp zones. I hate the warp zones.
Dude, I could honestly see someone doing like an amazing game done quick thing.
Yeah,
on
I was just
Trials.
saying, I want to see a speed run of
I
Trials.
would be excited to see that.
And it's crazy too to think. I want to say on Xbox statistics, I think there's only 10% of the actual user game people center
people. Okay.
Population.
There's a word for that. I can't think of it right now. That has 100% perfected the game, including all the DLC. Because one of the achievements is beat all the challenges on every single level in Trials Frontier. That is so hard
Honestly,
to do.
10% is impressive to me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like, it's a very select few that for some reason are good with platformers and drive cars. That's drive bikes. That's what I call them. Bikes that go vroom vroom.
Honestly, 10% is huge.
Yeah,
honestly,
right?
thinking about it, like,
That's a good population size, but
yeah, even if, there was like a few 100,000, like 10% of that is a huge number.
yeah. Those are the kind of people that are like some godlike people that you want to have as your friends, so but never to play Trials with.
No.
No.
You play Trials with the friends that don't know what video games are. How do you video game? Those guys that move and then look.
Yeah, seriously.
Move and then look. Their camera's always facing at the ground.
Why am I looking at the sky? I don't understand.
Or like they practically have the controller flipped. Like, I kid you not, that has happened.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, it was bad. No, it was not great. It was frustrating. That's what that was.
Yeah. Well, on that fantastic note, we're gonna go into the commercial break here to make up for some lost time. We're going a little bit early, so we'll catch you guys after the break where we talk about more video games. Well, see you guys in a sec. Welcome back to the Press Start podcast. Yeah.
That happened. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And on that note, good night.
Officially leaving forever.
Okay, and cut. All right, that's where we edit. Welcome back to the Press Start podcast, guys.
Yeah.
No, for real, I'm leaving that in.
I would only hope so. I'd be sad and wouldn't share it if you left it out.
Right? Oh, man. Biggest controversy in the entire freaking world of everything, right? The phone went off. Is that are esports really sports?
Oh, man.
Esports,
Here
are
we
they
go.
really sports? And to continue this debate, the X Games this week hosted the very first their very first esports X Games thing in Halo.
And actually,
right?
it wasn't the first. They've done.
Well,
They did COD in the past.
but like the first fully televised,
Yeah.
fully
Yeah.
advertised.
Before
on
it, yeah.
ESPN.
It was
Before it was
just
just on
kind of
the
its own little-
internet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like actual primetime television.
Seriously.
like we're playing Halo. So of course this brings up controversy.
Yeah. I have the tweet pulled up here.
I'm gonna let you
Oh,
bring this
let's
one up.
read
All right. So basically, ESPN decided to broadcast this Halo tournament at the same time that there was some sort of men's, I think it was like a men's ski slope style type event. And Christy Leskinen, who is, from what I can guess, she's a female professional skier. I'm guessing she's competed in X Games.
Yeah.
She was at home trying to watch the X Games, getting hyped for this men's event. And when Halo was on, she was angry. And she took to Twitter.
Of course.
Which was the biggest mistake.
Where do we go when we're angry? To Twitter.
Yeah, you're going to go to Twitter and complain about video games on TV. Best of luck to you.
Yeah.
Good luck.
The literal tweet. As athletes, sometimes we risk it all to win X Games. No gamer in the world deserves an X Games gold medal. Hashtag couch games. Hashtag athletes only.
Ooh.
The internet then proceeded to literally tear her apart.
I mean, it was bound to happen. She was not on the same playing field.
I
here.
mean, okay, so here's where I'm at on this. I can see where she's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The X Games was made for extreme sports. You're talking skateboarding, you're up a million feet in the air. You could possibly die if you don't land this right.
Wait.
Yeah.
You're telling me that Halo's not extreme?
I mean,
Yo, Halo's extreme. You can like ground pound things. Though.
the most injuries I've seen from Halo is a friend throwing a controller at the other friend.
True. Yeah.
So, on one hand, yeah, I can see where she's coming from, where you could possibly be a little upset that gamers are winning X Games medals when these people that have been training all their lives and injuring themselves possibly, they're losing in their events and not getting a medal.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, X Games has always been about sort of revolutionizing what's considered a sport.
Yeah.
There was a time when people were saying these same sort of comments about like skateboarding.
Yeah. There was a point in time where people derped around on 4 wheels that they stole from Sears and a plank of wood.
Exactly.
And they were like, this will never be a sport.
Yeah.
Look at it now.
Yeah, or even slope style is one of the most recent things added to the X Games because it was like, hey, this is something that's really cool and we do on a regular basis. Why isn't this not a real sport, you know?
Yeah.
Or even crashed ice. That's my favorite X Game event. I don't know if you've seen that. It's 4 guys in a rink that's about the size of 2 guys on hockey skates going down a hill at like 20 miles per hour on ice with hockey skates. You could imagine how well that goes with jumps too. They get like serious air. You guys could just imagine how great that goes. About 90% of the time, people are on their face sliding down the hill. It's fantastic. But yeah, that's definitely a good point. It's like, hey, this is the best way to get esports hyped is the X Games.
Exactly.
Really.
And I mean, the X Games, they're smart. The people who did this, they're realizing the esports hype is just building up more and more. Honestly, I'm willing to bet this Halo tournament got more viewers than like the men's slopestyle event probably would have.
Oh yeah. Because for me, the X Games is a thing that I'm doing homework in the sub and I occasionally look at some idiot that's sliding down a hill on his face.
Yeah.
Because he's wearing hockey skates going downhill at 20 miles per hour.
I mean, isn't that the only reason we watch it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's impressive, some of the things that they do, don't get me wrong, but it's not something that I'm really sitting down and paying very close attention to.
Right?
Exactly. It's impressive seeing someone and seeing how much their face can take, but it's even more exciting seeing a team of apparently, quote, what was it, like couch games.
Yeah, well,
competing. Like, honestly,
one of the funniest tweets that I saw was someone said, well, I play in a racing chair. That's pretty extreme, right?
that is gold.
Classic. I love the internet. Oh man, I must have missed this in the light of the Fine Bros BS.
Oh God, the
Fine
Bros.
That because that's a mess in itself.
No,
that's going to be another podcast.
The main people that were replying to this, it was mainly people in the COD community.
Okay, yeah.
There was a lot of COD pros that were replying to it. You know, obviously there was a lot of just F you, you're stupid, but a lot of people were actually brought up some good points and, you know, were trying to explain to her that these aren't people who just picked up a video game and went, this seems fun. Let me go try to win some money off of it. These are people that have been doing this basically their whole lives.
Yeah.
They practice for upwards of 8 to 10 hours a day playing just this video game.
Yeah, if it was like one of us, you know, or anybody out there in the sub that's not a professional esports gamers or like anybody that competes competitively for their job, for the living, you know, I could see. Oh yeah, they definitely don't deserve an X Games money. You know, I mean, we play video games as like a hobby, as like entertainment. We don't play it as our way of life. You know? But these guys, I will argue that they train just as much as X Games.
Seriously, it may not be like a physical exertion in that aspect.
Oh yeah.
But these guys, they're training all day. They're sitting there playing this video game all day, which to some people they go, well, okay, how hard can that be? But really, you sit and stare at a screen all day, focusing and trying to do all this stuff, and it can really take a toll just on like your mind and just end up exhausted.
Exactly.
Without any doubt. Like,
well, I mean, like even in just like looking at the way they play maps and things like that, it's the same kind of general concept as anybody that does slope style or any of the downhill runs because it's essentially the same thing. You're just memorizing a course. If you're doing any of the downhill runs, they're memorizing maps and finding out where everything is, where all the weapons are, all these things. They're training. It's a physically exhausting training.
Yeah.
Because you're sitting there, and mentally too, you're sitting there just preparing, playing like the same like 20 maps over and over and over.
Right.
Practicing for any scenario that can come up. Because the other thing too is that in for the video game side is that you look at the X Games sports, right? And basically, the athletes that do that have their set run.
Yeah.
They're going to do this trick, this trick, this trick, and then this trick.
Yeah.
And if I miss this trick, then I'm going to do this trick. You know, they have backups, you know. But it's generally pretty predictable.
Yeah.
Like, if I crash, all right, I'm done. You know, I'm going to do like a 360 and then be done.
Yeah.
You know? But I want to do this set. These video game guys have no idea what's going to come up. They
Seriously.
can train every situation that happens, but something new will come up
Yeah.
every single time. It's probably one of the most real-time sports that's out there because anything can happen.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing too is that with like the X Games and stuff, there's few but large variables with sport, like the esports and everything. There is an ungodly amount of small different variables that can affect, and in a sense, like one thing can happen and cause thousands of hundreds of more.
Yeah.
It's impossible to know.
Yeah, and even on just expanding on this esports things, I don't remember which teams did this, but there's 5 soccer teams that picked up the best FIFA players in the world to create essentially soccer teams in FIFA.
Right.
And that compete against each other, that they want to get this esports thing in FIFA even bigger, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where it's like, you could say all you want that these guys aren't athletes, but they're going to become athletes. Like this is a real thing that's big and huge and should get people money and huge scholarships.
Okay, you want to argue about what's a sport and what's not? At the Olympics, people brush ice in front of a huge rock, and we call that a sport.
Yeah.
You're gonna call that a sport and then argue about people playing video games being a sport.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would understand if it was. It's a little bit different for me to say, like, if esports were to go into next year's Olympics, you know, I would say, okay, maybe that's going a little bit too far,
right?
Because they're not ready for that. That's kind of
and the Olympics,
to me, that's not a good place for video games.
Yeah,
but the X Games, perfect place for video games.
Seriously.
So I don't know.
The X Games is always, like I said, it's always just been this revolutionary type front to just bring to light new considerations of what a sport is.
And then even the other thing too, it's not like they're playing like snowboarding games.
Yeah.
You know, they're playing like video games, like shooter video games and things that you can't do in real life.
Yeah.
You know? Like it'd be different. If they were playing like an X Games video game for the X Games, I would laugh. I would be like, this is so pathetic.
Yeah,
but
like that would be a big slap in the face. But no. Like, and on top of it too, like if esports is getting such a big thing, why didn't poker get such a big thing? Why didn't like chess get such a big thing?
Yeah.
Like, come on, like really out of all things, you got a bunch of people sitting around a table drinking and throwing cards at each other. Really?
Trying to look as serious as
yeah,
possible.
literally, it is the most dull thing to watch.
Trying to be like, no, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, like, really?
You did, huh?
Yeah. And you can't tell me watching video games isn't exciting.
Seriously.
Some of those
Especially with
things
the
are really
commentary.
exciting, yeah.
Like the commentary that you have going that on each individual game, on each individual match, it's just spot on. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I was like, okay, League of Legends is fun. And then I watched the season, like 4 or 5, with commentary, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was the best thing ever.
Well, even then too, like you just got to look at it from a ratings perspective. Like, I bet you, like, if it was a men's downhill skiing slope style, you know, it wouldn't even get nearly a third of the views that Halo did.
Yeah.
Because here's the other thing too, is that people are willing to watch video games be broadcast. I know I stayed up last year for the League of Legends World Championship. I was up at like midnight watching that because I wanted to watch that game. And 2 years ago, back when it was in South Korea, the game started at 1 o'clock in the morning, and it didn't end until 5. I stayed up the entire time to watch all 4 games of that because and that's just me alone. Like there's thousands upon thousands of people that are just there at the event, plus the millions of people that are watching it. People are willing to watch this. They want to watch video games.
It's just people are just going to eventually. People around the world who are against this are going to just have to accept that video games and esports are they're going to be a thing. They're here to stay, really.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, well, and then it's the same thing that I tell people all the time. It's like every time somebody's like, "Oh, you're watching that video. Why are you watching video games? You could just play the video game. Why are you watching it?" And I'd be like, it's the same reason why you sit down every Saturday and Sunday to watch football.
Yeah.
Or basketball.
Why don't you go out and play basketball?
Go out and go play it, but you could also watch these professional guys that know like 3,000 times the amount of stuff that I know about this video game play it, and it's really interesting and fun to watch.
And that's a lot of the stigma with esports is people just kind of think it's a video game. Any Joe Blow off the street can pick it up and go compete in this tournament. But I mean, these guys, it's ridiculous the things they can do, and if anybody like me or you matched up against any of these professionals, I'd probably just curl up in a ball and cry because they'd just destroy me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'd get, ulted across the map. Wouldn't know what hit me.
Seriously.
Cry in a corner as they're like, why'd you leave?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, like even then, like just in League of Legends alone, you don't even get paired up against like amazingly like godlike professional players, but you get paired up with some of the best players in the world, like guys that are diamond and platinum, and it's like I get happy if I like get 10 more like minion kills on them, or if I get a kill on them, if I kill a platinum player, I'm like, yes, this is great.
I am a god.
It's so hard to do that with just even like the average Joes that play like 5-10 hours, like even a week. Like I have friends that like played it every once in a while, but still like were diamond and gold, and they're like some of the best players in the world. It's like I killed you once. I was like 1 in like 80, but I'm still happy I killed you once. The kind of thing. It's like these guys are good, and it's definitely worth a sport and the athlete title for sure. To get an X Game medal, please. You can get an X Game medal like every like 3 months. There's an X Games every 3 months. I swear.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because there's winter, there's
summer.
Yeah, but then on top of it too, like skating has its own thing, biking has its own thing.
Yeah.
Snowboarding.
Like they're all their own individual branches now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, even then, it's like you look at some of like the open tournaments and stuff, and it's like, are you going to say the same thing about other snowboarders in open tournaments that are essentially like pro-ams that have a few sponsors, but they're not like up there in X Games and Olympic territory? Are you going to say the same things? Oh, these guys are kind of just like off the streets, they don't snowboard as much, they're not real athletes. Like, it's no different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they practice just as much as you do. So, yeah. And taking a war on the place that lives and thrives off of video game watching.
That's the real moral to this story.
Yeah.
If you're gonna attack video games, don't do it on the internet.
Don't do it on Twitter.
Don't do it on Twitter.
You could do it on Facebook.
Sure.
Don't do it on Twitter or Tumblr or any other social media site. Do it on MySpace. Actually, that's a good place to do it. You'll have tens of people getting mad at you.
Brilliant.
Seriously though, just if you want to attack video games, don't do it on the internet.
Yeah.
That was just a silly move on her part, really.
Don't be that dumb. And there's too much to talk about.
When is there not too much to talk about?
Last week.
Right.
Fair enough.
So PAX South happened. I wasn't able to keep up with it, so I've been trying to find stupid recaps of freaking PAX South. And there's like none that exist that you could just read. Like, I don't want to watch a video. I don't have time to watch a video, but I have time just to read a
Just
quick
give me a
article.
few highlights I can read. Yeah.
Say this game's coming out, and this game looks really gay. I'll look at those games up and I'll be like, all right, yeah. But basically, big things from PAX South.
PAX South.
I did it. Is that you got some more stuff on MOBAs and things like that. AMD talked about their latest in hardware. Up to 4 gigahertz of processing speed.
Although they've kind of had that.
Yeah, but I mean, with the new motherboards and things like that, like
That's true.
It's some intense gaming that's like competing up with Intel, but then Intel's just going to come back 6 months later and be like, that stuff that AMD has, we have it like 8 times better.
I was going to say, it's AMD doing their best to try to keep up, really.
Intel's like, we're cheap, buy us.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so there's a lot that happened in PAX South. Oh God, I keep saying
Dude, you are struggling today.
I'm pretty sure I'm having a stroke right now. Yeah, so a bunch of stuff happened there. It happened in Texas. Just, you can look it up on your own.
Yeah, have fun looking at all of the videos because there's no article you can find.
Yeah, it's
impossible.
You have to sit down for like a total of like 8 hours just to
And
watch
that's our
all the recap
super
videos.
professional PAX South review.
PAX South.
Wow. Swag.
PAX South. Sweetie swag.
You were talking, your upcoming new game of 2016 was revealed.
Upcoming new favorite game that I'm so hyped about that I cannot wait to play. It's this game called Omnibus. Basically, you play an out-of-control bus and try to destroy everything you possibly can. It's the stupidest looking game ever. Here, let's see if I could. I'm definitely gonna put some links to this game because you just have to look it up on your own. It's just so it's so stupid It's amazing. Oh,
It's just drive around, destroy things, basically, right?
yeah. It's basically try to get as big as a combo as you can, and
I'm scooting. It's
we're
okay.
we're scooting. We're just looking at this. It's like
Okay.
different
Okay,
maps and
okay.
things. You play as a bus, and you just try to destroy
It looks
everything.
kind of like a 16-bit game.
There's local co-op.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yep. How much? Okay, it's available spring 2016, which is soon.
It's just around the corner.
Oh yeah, no, this is immediately going on my wish list, and I'm immediately buying it. This is 4-player co-op confirmed, guys.
4-player.
4-player, 2-player. There's like maps, so it's basically like you go around maps, like the out thing's like a Mario World type of thing where you go through like level 1-1, level 1-2. You know, you just go through all these different worlds, and you just try to destroy as much, get the destruction goal, and then you move on to the next level. But it's so stupid. It's amazing. I cannot wait for the game. It's going to be my favorite game of 2016.
You're just calling it already?
Yep. Game of the year 2016 Omnibus.
All right.
Wow.
You heard it here first, guys. So when it becomes Game of the Year 2016, I would like some royalties.
Oh.
This podcast now sponsored by Omnibus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, should we do our sponsor ramble too?
Oh, God.
Hey, Razor.
Here we go again.
No.
That was so
No,
bad. I can't believe we did that. Oh.
It was absolutely terrible.
This podcast is already derailing. Like, and it's only the second episode.
The second official.
Yeah, official.
Yeah.
Keyword on official.
So, oh, man. All right. We're probably going to wrap this up here because we are reaching the end of our time. So, up next, guys, stick around for
Yeah, is the John and Joe show with me and Joe.
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really.
They have a great show. It's
Yeah.
funny, and they have music and talking and
It's a good time.
Shenanigans. Dude, literally,
Shenanigans.
I don't know if you've ever looked on our thing. If you go to where it says schedule, you click on it. It says 2 roommates and a mic. What could go wrong?
yeah, it's
Literally is it.
It's
I
a great
mean,
show.
if you sat around listening to us ramble for the last hour, why not?
Why not?
Tune
There's
in now.
music too.
Exactly.
the
You're
same
already
deal.
10 feet into the mud. Might as well just go further. You've already reached a low in your life. Just keep going. Just keep going.
We have
down,
such a
down.
high opinion of our show.
Oh, our show is so good. All right, so we're gonna be wrapping up here. So next week, guys, we're gonna hit a lot more XCOM, some more
Yes,
Dark
we
Souls 3. We didn't even get to touch on Dark Souls 3.
We still have a lot of stuff to talk
There's
about
so
just from
much
this week.
stuff. Oh, just search up like video game news this week and just look at GameSpot and just read every
Or
freaking
don't
article.
and wait for us to talk about it.
Oh yeah, and then listen to our show the next week.
Yeah, call
Like
it.
send people to other places for their video game news.
Yeah, so
I think he was telling us. I don't think he trusts us to actually look up stuff.
no, just everybody. Hey, everybody, send us news so we don't have to do anything.
Yeah, come on. We're
See,
lazy. We
don't
clearly
call
aren't very good at this research thing before the show. So.
Yeah,
I mean, we did make it to college, but we don't really do that.
I mean, I like barely made it to college. So, so guys, we'll catch you guys next week at 7:00 here on the University Pulse.
Hopefully, we'll be back to our regular link by then.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Press Start Podcast. Don't be confused with the other Press Start Podcast that has 103 episodes. No, we're the one that has 2 episodes.
We're the little one that nobody cares about.
I'm working on our logo design right now.
Okay.
'Cause
Okay, I'm
apparently the
excited.
one that I have now is from theirs.
Oh.
Whoops. So I'm gonna fix all that. But so we're gonna see you guys next week. This was a great show. I'm Nate.
I'm DJ.
And I'm John.
And this was the Press Start Podcast. Bye, guys.